The oil supply chain is made up of many interconnected parts. It requires a huge variety of specialized services working together in order to get the oil out from the ground and into the petrol pumps or refineries. The process is very expensive and risky, but with high risk comes high reward. The oil companies who have mastered this process and now dominate the entire industry are some of the richest companies on the planet. There are few signs of any new competitors coming in and taking their slice of the pie anytime soon. In this video we will explore the supply chain for oil and some of the largest businesses operating in the industry around the world. The oil and gas industry is broken down into three main segments: upstream, midstream, and downstream. Upstream businesses consist of companies involved in the exploration and production of oil. These are the firms that search the world looking for reservoirs of the black stuff hidden under the earth. Once they find a place that they like the look of, they then drill down deep to extract it. These companies are often known as E&P for exploration and production. This business has a lot of risks. Firstly, it is dangerous work, as oil drilling can lead to blowouts, explosions, and oil spills. One of the worst oil spills in history occurred in 2010, when the BP Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded and poured 49 million barrels worth of oil, or around 210 million gallons, into the ocean. This had a devastating effect on the marine wildlife and took the lives of 11 workers. The second large risk is that companies need to have a good estimate about the amount of oil in the ground, as this will affect their income stream and value of their assets. Knowing this before you have even started drilling into the ground is obviously a very difficult task, and if the calculations aren't accurate, then there is a good chance that the well might not be as profitable as previously thought. In recent years, this has particularly affected the fracking industry in North America. One of the largest areas in the United States where fracking takes place is in the Permian Basin in Texas. The amount of oil here has been under evaluation for several years now, and estimates of the quantity has been reduced several times. Now, Chevron, one of the largest oil companies operating in the area, is trying to drill deeper than initially planned in a hope to find more oil. It is also trying to get the rights to drill into residential areas. E&P companies may hire contractors to do the actual drilling, but they maintain ownership rights over the oil fields. The company value is based on the oil reserves they have access to, which becomes their future income. Once the oil has been drilled, it must be transported to the refineries in order to be processed and turned into usable products. Midstream businesses focus on the storage, processing, and transportation from the ground to the refineries, and from those refineries on to where it's needed. Companies can choose whichever modes of transportation fit their supply routes the best, and most major companies use a mix of pipelines, shipping, and trucking to move their crude around the world. One of the largest and most important pipelines in the world is the enormous Keystone Pipeline in North America. This mega project stands at an incredible 3,500 kilometers long, and construction costs are estimated to be around $5 billion. The Keystone Pipeline runs from the Western Canadian Sedimentary Basin in Alberta to petroleum refineries in Illinois and Texas. Although a huge amount of oil is pumped throughout this pipeline every day, the demand for oil is only increasing, and with that, more demand for a longer pipeline. Today, there is a debate in America about whether to extend the Keystone Pipeline even further and spread it out across the US mainland. This is known as Keystone XL and could potentially transport up to 800,000 barrels of crude every day. Downstream operations are processes involved in converting oil into the finished product. This refers to the refineries, which change the raw crude into a variety of products, which are then sold on to their respective businesses. The main products, however, are petrol and diesel, which are usually transported by truck or pipe to the petrol pumps, which are usually the only place where members of the public will ever come into direct contact with the oil industry. Many of the world's largest and most influential oil companies today are integrated oil and gas companies. This means they carry out all stages of the supply chain themselves and have separate divisions for each stage. They are corporate behemoths and have been referred to as big oil due to their size and monopoly over the market. This is because being an integrated company allows for complete control over the supply chain. This leads to lower costs and improved efficiency. It also provides for various streams of revenue and diversification. What makes it even better for these giant corporations is that there are extremely high capital costs involved with oil exploration and refining. This creates barriers to entry, which are so high that almost no competitors can enter the market unless owned by the government. Not many governments of the world are able to afford these huge costs, and therefore outsource their oil production to these global giants. So which of these integrated oil and gas companies dominate the world oil markets? Let's take a look at some of the largest and most profitable companies in the world who operate in both the oil and natural gas markets and are running the show in 2023. First off, we head to Brazil, where the state-owned Petróleo Brasileiro, or Petrobras, dominates the Brazilian market for oil. When you think of Rio de Janeiro, you probably think of Carnival, tourism and the favelas. But surprisingly, the state of Rio produces 85% of Brazilian oil. In 2022, over 900 million barrels of oil came from Rio, and most of it was extracted by Petrobras. As of 2023, the market cap of Petrobras is $99.16 billion, and last year they made a revenue of $124 billion. Next, let's take a look at two of Europe's heavyweights in the oil and gas markets. Starting with the French giant Total. Total Energies is headquartered in Paris and has operated since 1924. Total is involved in 23 projects of exploration and production worldwide, and it is also a large-scale chemicals manufacturer. Total is a truly global company. It started with projects mainly in the Middle East, but now has expanded its operations to all 7 continents. As of 2023, it has a market cap of $164 billion, with a revenue of $281 billion in 2022. Across the channel, we have the largest energy company in the UK, Shell Energy. Shell used to be partnered with the Royal Dutch Petroleum Company and had the name Royal Dutch Shell. However, in 2021, the bosses decided to move its headquarters from the Netherlands to Britain and change its name to Shell Energy. Shell's main presence is in North America and Europe, and they have a huge presence in the natural gas and liquefied natural gas markets. As of 2023, it has a market cap of $215 billion and made a 2022 revenue of $380 billion. As we move across the pond, we come to the market leader in the USA, ExxonMobil. Exxon is headquartered in the oil center of the USA, Houston, Texas, and is the largest direct descendant of one of the largest oil companies in history, John D. Rockefeller's Standard Oil. ExxonMobil is the largest non-government owned company in the energy industry and produces about 3% of the world's oil and about 2% of the world's energy. In 2023, Exxon was ranked by Fortune as the 12th largest company in the world. It has a market cap of $412 billion and made a revenue in 2022 of $413 billion. Finally, let's take a look at not only the largest energy company in the world, but also the second largest company in the world, second only to Apple. Its market cap stands at an unbelievable $2.15 trillion, with a revenue of $530 billion in 2022. Yes, of course, it's Saudi Aramco. This company is owned by the Saudi government. However, few people know that it was actually founded as Standard Oil's overseas operation. It has a monopoly on some of the largest oil fields in the world, including the largest oil field on the planet, the Ghawar oil field, which is estimated to have held around 58 million barrels of oil. Although Saudi Arabia is making a huge effort to diversify its economy and reduce its dependence on oil, it still has a huge amount of oil left in the ground, which means Saudi Aramco is going to be a main player in the oil market for a long time to come. If you found this video interesting and would like to know more about business, industry and supply chains to help your investment decisions, then make sure to subscribe to the T15 report. If you know anyone who would like this video, then please share it with them and hit the like button. Alright guys, thanks for watching and see you on the next one.